But yeah, how people working live on stream, I don't really know how they do that.
I'm doing it right now.
You're doing it. Are you drawing right now?
Yeah, I'm drawing this thingy here that we're going to be talking about.
Okay. That it's impressive. Like, do you ever draw with the camera on what you're drawing? To me, that's like, it's just too much pressure.
Well,
I can.
If you've been to my channel, I used to do this weekly live stream called the Fresher Streams, where I would interview a special guest and I would draw as I was interviewing them.
Ah,
That sounds familiar.
nice.
The Fresher Stream?
Yeah.
It was pretty much a drawing channel. I think
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I would like pick guests and ask them, hey, would you like to come onto the stream and we'll talk about everything except politics and religion, and just talk about you as a creator and what influences your work and stuff like that. And
Politics and religion. What if that's what they say?
well, you know what I mean. It was supposed to be apolitical because I just wanted it so people could find out more about people on a more personal and intimate level. And while they were doing that, I would draw sort of drawing requests from people in the chat and also from the guest as well. So
Nice.
Also a good way to pretend like you weren't listening.
I guess so, yeah. But I always do listen. So
Maybe I should this time.
It's my whole life. That's been what's going on. You listen. I don't know how to else, but you listen differently, right? I mean, you're almost listening. You're listening more, but you can't engage the same way.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm paying more attention when I'm working than when I'm not than when I should be paying attention.
Yeah, it's really different parts of your brain. There's the verbal part that's available, and the visual part is engaged. So the verbal part's wide open. It's totally receptive for conversation and ideas. And if you're in school, did you grow up in school and you were drawing and the teacher would come over and smack the ruler on your table or take the pencil away and say, you got to pay attention, and you got to say, I am. This is how I pay attention.
I drew, but my teachers were always cool. So.
Well, I would do that, but my teachers would hit me over the head with a club.
Oh
yeah. Eric, I don't think I've ever had a cool teacher.
Oh man, maybe that's why I'm not a better artist than I am now, because I was encouraged and not shunned.
You need that oppositional defiance disorder.
You do, yeah. It's that rebellion
in your way.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me I can't draw.
Yeah, anger's a good motivator.
There's definitely something like autopilot though with doing something with your hands. Like sometimes even just gardening or whatever, any kind of menial task that doesn't take. Not that drawing is a menial task. You know what I mean, though? Like
it can be. Yeah.
You get moving, and then your brain can think about other things, or listen or whatever.
Yeah, I get a mushy brain though when I'm done. Like I've been working on these Cyberfrog pages, cleaning them up for Kyle the Color. They're photocopies, so I have to convert them to black and white, straight black and white, and some of them are really, really crappy copies. So it's very tedious, but it's mind numbing. And then I was like, it's dinner time. Like, okay, go upstairs, and I can't function. Like I have mush brain because I've just been in the zone so much, and it takes me 45 minutes to get out of that. And that was me today, and now I'm back in it. And I think it's actually good that I'm talking to other humans instead of just drooling on my Wacom tablet.
Yeah. I envy you guys though. I think it's cool to to just draw a story or draw what you imagine. That to me would be magical. I wish someday I'll get there. I wish I could do that though. It's just
you can. Everyone can. We all have that ability, Clint. It just depends on. It's like what Bob Ross used to say. Like, it's an acquired skill. You just got to do a million bad drawings before you do your first good one.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then you keep doing it, and if you do it enough, you get to start to look like forsaken gods.
Yes. Thank you.
What a great segue.
That's an awesome segue. Thank you, Charlie. You're your favorite person.
Yeah, I'll post this in the link. Because welcome everyone, by the way, to the chat. I'm not showing in my beautiful face. I know everyone's disappointed. I just can't get my camera to work. So
That's the freshest curse.
You know what? You know what's happened here? It might just be a Hansen filter, and I'm the only one that came through. So
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
it's the algorithm. It didn't, the algorithm.
Yeah. So I wonder,
Tell the algorithm.
is it filtering out the handsome, or is it putting?
Oh,
handsome in?
oh snap!
Ah.
Well, I look like a supermodel Clint, so it must be filtering out the handsome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Oh, awesome! I love that helmet. That's awesome.
That's rad.
Fits perfectly too.
Yeah.
It looks like an air. You look like an air popper. Make some popcorn.
Perfect.
What's that? Trouble? Is that the game? The popping, you pop a little bubble in the middle.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect. You got a pipe
that's
too.
awesome. Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, so we've got Forsaken Gods. Why don't we let's do a pitch for this, do a little commercial break to start off the show. That way people know what they're looking at, and then we can kind of get into it. But we've got Fresher Luke on the channel. My first time talking to you.
Yes, mine as well. Thank you for having me on, Clint. This is awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great to have you. So this is your campaign, Forsaken Gods.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So Forsaken Gods is a 60-page full-color comic book that I'm looking to get funded. It's about a young woman named Samara. She's an archaeologist, and she lives in this fantasy world called Epic Earth, and it's filled with dragons and monsters and magic and all that good fantasy stuff. And the reason why this world is filled with dragons and monsters and magic is because, centuries earlier, there was this massive war between all the gods, and they were fighting for supremacy. And as wars do, they created all these different weapons, all these magical weapons of great power, in order to try and defeat each other. And so once the war ended, they put all these weapons away in all these dungeons and buried them underground, so mortal people couldn't use them when all the gods went back to their respective domains. And so now Samara goes into these dungeons trying to find these artifacts, trying to figure out what caused the war and who were the major players and why it caused the world to become the way it is today. And so this is issue 1, and in this issue she goes into one of these dungeons with these hired goons of hers, this hired help, and her whole expedition goes sideways. Everybody gets killed, and she survives, and she unwittingly awakens this giant hulking beast called Skull Knight, which you saw down below. And he's this flaming skull encased in this giant magical suit of armor. And he is duty-bound to protect her because she's the one that awoke him. But because Skull Knight can't talk, he can't really communicate, he can only scream. She doesn't understand that. She thinks he's trying to kill her, so she's running away from him, and he's running after her, saying, "Wait, come back." And hilarity ensues from there.
He can only scream?
Yeah, he just screams all the time.
Like my 4-year-old.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've had a boss like that before.
So even though he's giant and he looks menacing and he screams all the time, he's actually very friendly, and he's very devoted to Samara because she's obviously his new master now. And so the rest of the plans I have, if this gets funded and I get to make another one, is that the storyline will then follow her trying to figure out who and what Skull Knight is, like what his role was in the war, why he became the way he was, and sort of how him following her around everywhere impacts her life as well.
Cool. I like it. Did you do everything on this? Colors,
Yes.
inks?
Yes.
I really like got some nice bold, this purple flames. I wouldn't even know how. Flames or smoke or something. That's a cool effect you have going.
Thank you.
Coming from someone who I just have no idea.
I'll teach you one day if you want. It's super easy. So this is I used to work in animation as a storyboard artist, and I did a little bit of art directing, and this is sort of 20 plus years experience that you're seeing on the page right now. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm posting the link in the chat, and this thing is close to getting funded for sure. You're
Hopefully,
only
yeah. I would.
100, so
Yeah. Well, I tried to do this campaign earlier before, and I set the price too high, and it didn't really get funded. So this is my second stab at it, and I'm just looking to get this thing made and get it into people's hands and bring them enjoyment.
cool.
All right, I was waiting because that was a good pitch. I didn't want to interrupt the pitch. That art is awesome.
Thank you.
That art is phenomenal. How did this not get funded? And where were you? Were you pitching in the closet with nobody around to hear it? This is incredible looking.
Really good.
Look. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. These compliments mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, I think part of it is because I spent most of my life trying to learn how to draw and working in animation. That I guess I'm a novice when it comes to social media and stuff like that. The first time I tried to do this campaign, I actually went on John Malin's show. He let me go on, and he gave me some advice, and it was good advice. And so this campaign is sort of a culmination of all the different advice I've gotten from all these different people as I've sort of asked them. Because I was looking around at some of the other campaigns, the successful ones, sort of trying to figure out like what was it about their campaign that made it so successful. And so even then, I'm still making a few mistakes here and there, but this is markedly better made campaign than my previous one.
That's cool. I think it looks really good. That's the weird nut to crack. I remember I used to do that, look at campaigns and think, why did this one make 50,000 and this one make 10,000? You know, and sometimes it's my conclusion is I have no idea. That's the thing I can come into.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had the same question in my head that you did, Clint, because I would see some campaigns that, look, if you allow me to be a little bit mean for a second, like some campaigns.
Be mean.
I would see some campaigns that were whose art was like a lot worse than mine, and they were getting like, 5-figure things like 10,000, 20,000. They would exceed their funding. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm doing all this artwork and I'm not even getting funded at all. Like, people aren't giving a second look. And I think one of the things is, I hate saying this, but I think one of the aspects is maybe lowest common denominator. Like, this campaign doesn't have much in regards to cleavage and thighs, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe
honestly, I think it's all about getting eyeballs on your book. And sometimes, let me be honest, and I'm not saying this about you specifically, but sometimes you can think that you have the best idea, and nobody else likes it.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely I'm cognizant of that bias. Absolutely. Like,
so something I'm just I think this looks great. I like
Thank you.
I like the bisexual lighting as well. It's really
the bisexual lighting
working good. Yeah.
Fuchsia, I'm telling you, it's because it's on the top in Photoshop.
That's right. It's convenience.
It's default.
Yeah.
It's why I use it.
Well, no, I mean,
I like using the color picker.
I use that just to sort of show that it's like magic. You know what I mean? It's like the magic color, like color coding, because I think in one of the big splash pages, like one of the big gods, he's got like green fire coming out of him, and it's like very luminescent.
That's cool.
Colors. There's a whole book about this.
Yeah.
Colors have meaning. Yeah. And I don't know how much of it's just Western, like created by Western culture over time, or how much is just intuitive. Well, obviously,
or random.
It's the Masons.
Yellow.
Freemasons pick the color schemes.
Right. Yellow and
color schemes and scams.
Yellow and black stripes are universally, even throughout nature, animals regarded as danger.
Yeah.
What did you say, Clint? Yellow and stripes?
Yellow and black stripes.
So bumblebees and stuff?
Bumblebees, which is why, too, I've seen where they have big, massive power, I don't know what they're called, power lines, like the big ones out in the woods or whatever, on the big towers. They actually put yellow and black big plastic things on them. I don't know what to call it. Like it looks like almost like a fishing line.
Yeah, like caution tape.
Exactly. They put it on there, and animals won't land on it. The birds won't land on it. So there's some of that that's just like, I
Handsy.
don't know, that's interesting to me. But yeah, like colors, like green is like sickly. Like if you're doing, or all this stuff in cinematography is a thing. And I know Kyle Ritter does some of that. I've seen him post online about his emotional color palette.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, like when he's gonna do something that's intense or angry, like he'll use reds. When he's gonna use, and I think I'm sure there's some creative aspect to it where it's created for people. But it is interesting though. Yeah, colors have meanings. So
definitely.
I don't know.
That's especially true in animation as well. Yeah.
What's your animation background?
I used to work at as a storyboard artist at some of the big studios that probably know of, like
Nickelodeon.
Well, yeah, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, DreamWorks. Yeah.
So do you know Jason Brubaker? That's the question.
No, I don't.
Oh well.
I think he's Doug TenNapel's friend. I think.
He was also an animator at.
He used to work at DreamWorks, but I think he worked at DreamWorks Feature, whereas I worked at DreamWorks TV. So.
Oh.
There's a DreamWorks TV. What's the TV?
So DreamWorks TV is they make content for the streaming division like Netflix. So they made She-Ra, the new She-Ra that came out that everybody hates, which is complete garbage. But they also made the new Voltron, which people liked.
That is good. I did see some of that. That's a great cartoon.
So some former friends worked on that.
Former?
Yeah, so I've since been canceled from the industry. I can't get a job in the industry anymore, and I guess in a way that's a whole long story.
Does it have to do with all this?
Is that connected to the comic stuff at all, or totally?
It's my story is really long. I suggest you go to the Bunderdome and look for the videos that I'm in because I talk about it at length. Because one, I'm here to talk about Forsaken Gods, but two, I will say everything that happened to me in the animation industry is part of the reason why I was really drawn to Comicsgate and what you guys are doing. Yeah. Because everything that the first thing I heard about Comicsgate was when I think it was 2 years ago when Richard Meyer started doing his videos and he was talking about all the problems within the comic book industry. I was watching all of his videos going, this is exactly what is going on in the animation industry right now.
Yeah.
I think it's every industry.
Yeah, but for me it was a rude awakening. I was like, holy shit, because I'd just gotten canceled. And so I'm sitting there unemployed trying to figure out what had just happened, and then I saw Richard Meyer's stuff. I'm like, holy shit!
Can you give us the Reader Digest version of what happened to you?
Basically, all right. The quickie version is the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke around the end of 2017, and then a bunch of these woke bitches or Karens, I guess you could call them, who work in animation. They all got together. They formed this secret Facebook group. And they created this blacklist of all these problematic, quote unquote, problematic males in the animation industry that they wanted to get rid of. And my name was on that list because I was working on a animated short for the Nickelodeon Shorts program called Dungeon Crawlers. And that short had nearly gotten finished. So at the end of 2017, when the scandal broke, Nickelodeon was all for that short. And then Christmas happened. And then January 2018, all of a sudden they were like, we're canceling the short, just out of the blue like that.
Why? What's the topic?
Dungeon crawlers?
So this is the dungeon, the good segue too. I'll put this up while you're talking about it. But so I'm assuming that has to do with this change.org petition, Greenlight Dungeon Crawlers. Why don't you connect the dots for us there?
I told Narwhal about it, and because the thing is, the short leaked online, and so if you go on YouTube and go Dungeon Crawlers Nickelodeon, you can probably find it there. We don't have to watch it here. We're here to talk about Forsaken Gods. But I told Narwhal about it, and he was like, oh, well, I'll just start up a petition. And so he started up this petition for me, which was really awesome of him to do. And we have 162 signatures right now. I would obviously like more signatures because where the video leaked initially, all the comments in the comment section, I think that where it initially leaked was on this guy named Alex Meyer's channel. and that video has got like over 2 million views, and the majority of the comments on that, they always talk about how great Dungeon Crawlers is and why, you know, it's wrong that Nickelodeon canceled it. So
And that got 2 million views, and there's only 160 signatures.
yeah, I guess because they can't make that connection. You know how kids are.
Yeah, well, how should you?
It's kids. It's kids. All right.
Well, I mean, the majority of his kids. I'm sure there's like some older people in there as well.
I mean, they
Well,
can't
even-
sign their name anyway.
Yeah, I don't generally, browse through change.org. You know what I mean? To see,
Yeah,
like,
I
don't
get
know,
it.
What is change.org?
it's,
It's the reason for the change shortage in the United States, actually.
it's funny. Yeah, this is basically, I don't know that much about it, but I think it's just where you go to a place for petitions. It's kind of like Indiegogo for petitions.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it doesn't cost money or anything. It's just collecting signatures.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Anyway.
The interesting thing. So like the whole, today's just been nuts. The weekend has been insane, but it's the same thing you kind of see over and over again. And it's funny because like 1 week I'll, have a conversation. I try to talk to whoever will talk to me, and people will say, no, you don't understand. There's no blacklist in comics. There's not a naughty list. And then something like this will happen where it's like, it doesn't matter what you think about Cecil. What they're saying now is he's a bigot, a racist, homophobe, like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is no, like, that's just blatant lies. But everybody they just jointly say it. It's like if they say it enough, it becomes truth. And I see it in higher education. I see it elsewhere. And it just, I don't know, like seriously, like it's been bothering me all weekend, this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when that article came out, I was like, it was, I actually did a video about it with Von Klaus when it broke.
Boy.
Yeah.
I saw that. You're trying to steal him from me. Now I know why.
I just, I mean, like, Von was my first guest on the Fresher stream, and I was really impressed with just the story that he told me about himself, because I didn't know anything about him when I brought him on the Fresher stream. And then part of the reason why I did the Fresher stream was just not only me getting to know people, but maybe someone who didn't know, say Von or whoever, maybe they get to know who that person is. Because part of the reason why all of this shit is going down right now is because, the people on the far right, the far left, the alt left, I apologize, that was a Freudian slip. They're not bothering to try to find out who these people are that they are persecuting. Like, they just instantly labeling them as, whatever the fuck, whatever they think can stick. And, if they just took a minute to talk to somebody and find out who they were as a person, then I think they would be less inclined to jump to those conclusions like it was the goddamn Conclusions Olympics.
Right. That's the craziest thing to me is I had heard a little bit of Comicsgate, like before I really got into it. I heard it was something that existed. I knew what Gamergate was, kind of, and so it was kind of just there. But I didn't bother. I was doing my own thing. I was trying to get onto this comics magazine, and but then when I heard about the whole Mark Waid thing and people were raising money for Mark Waid to defend himself, immediately I saw, he's saying a bunch of racists were going after him. And whenever I hear that, I think, this is going to be a lie. I guarantee it, every single time. And so that was actually, to me, like what got me to dig into it. And clearly, like 3 minutes of Googling, and you can find exactly what it is. What are the heinous things that Richard C. Meyer said? And it's like, okay, well, I don't know. That's how it all started. But it's just maddening to me that people don't just look it up. If it's bothers you enough that you're willing to go cancel somebody, maybe you ought to at least look at it. So you can make
somebody they admire said it, so that's all that matters. That's all it takes. And Screen Rant, so this is a new one. This is a new article that came out. They're now they've got a chain of this was 5 hours ago, a chain of insane articles. But this one is basically Dynamite canceling the Cecil cover wasn't good enough.
because Dynamite was working secretly behind the scenes. So it's like,
I love the projection. I love the projection. Like, you can always tell what they're up to just by reading their articles. If they accuse you of something, chances are good that's exactly what they're fucking doing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And you go to like, what is a harassment campaign? That's a new one. It used to be hate group. Now it's harassment campaign. And it even says in here they were campaigning. I'm not, finding the exact ones, but they were campaigning against specific people. But I'm like, you're literally describing what you're doing. You've decided that Dynamite's going down, and now you've got a campaign. You've got now 2 articles in 48 hours that have come out harping on the same note. I just such a mistake for Dynamite, for Nick Barucci to bend the knee here. Yeah. Published in Pete says, yo.
Published in Pete.
Oh, is that Peter?
With those
It's Peter Simon.
Giant, he's got elephantitis of the nuts right now, man. We love Pete, this dude.
Well, if Pete said we should talk more about Forsaken Gods.
What a great segue. Yeah, we can do it.
But we could keep visiting this more if you want. And
we'll jump back to it. Here, I just want to put it in here. There we go. Forsaken Gods. Here we go. Yes. Give us a 30-second commercial for Forsaken Gods.
Forsaken Gods, 60-page book, full color, all done by me. So it's coming from my heart. It's about a woman, a female archaeologist named Samara. She's an archaeologist in this fantasy world filled with dragons, monsters, and magic. And she comes across this amazing giant flaming skull encased in this magical piece of armor called Skull Knight. And she has to figure out the mystery that is Skull Knight, and also try to keep herself alive as the gods attempt to kill her and Skull Knight, as they see him as a threat to their power.
Nice.
Yeah.
So on Indiegogo, the link's in the description, and then I think I'll also post it in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully the moderators are doing their job. That is Forsaken Gods on Indiegogo right now.
Back in the day.
That is really sophisticated coloring, man. I know we're.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. I could even. I don't know.
Sorry, let me interrupt. Is anyone looking for a colorist?
We might be.
All right. Yeah, I'm your man. I'll do it.
I mean, I never colored. I'm a black and white artist. That was always my focus. And
it's a dog whistle.
I color. Trying to navigate if there's a joke there. I'm gonna leave it. It's just Malcolm X for me is what I draw. And
just power through, man. Just power through. You can do it.
What's the white equivalent to Malcolm X?
Oh,
Sean King.
Sean King.
Talcum X.
Talcum X. That's hilarious.
All right, a Malcolm X and Talcum X on the page. But for you.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, Peter Simeti.
That didn't. No, I really confused.
Peter Simeti is the white equivalent to Malcolm X.
Why not?
All right.
What was the name of that character that Edward Norton played in American History X?
I haven't seen that.
I have no idea.
Oh, all right.
That guy.
Haven't seen it, Clint?
No, I haven't. No.
You're not missing anything.
Usually people are like, what?
My initial reaction was culturally. Everybody said, you got to see it. And I just thought about seeing it and thought, you're all right.
Yeah.
You don't need to see it.
You'll be fine.
But anyway, so I was drawing black and white, and I've been drawing storyboards also for years, man. And coloring for storyboard is way different. It's you're sending trash to a meeting.
Yeah.
And it goes there and nobody cares. So now, really for the first time, I tried to color comic pages, and it's a reach for me. As far as what we were doing, it was good that I did it to establish what we're aiming at.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't have it. I don't know.
there's definitely something to specializing. You know what I mean? And like whatever. I mean, I guess that's what comics have historically been. Not all the time, I guess. Fresher Luke's a good example of doing it all yourself, but there's definitely a benefit, I guess, to having people that specialize, you know, in colors, line art, writing, so on and so on.
Yeah, man. What do we call you? Fresher or Luke, or do you like Fresh Luke? FL?
You can call me Fresher. You can call me Luke. You can call me Fresher Luke. You can call me FL. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me an asshole or a pedophile.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they've called me that as well. So.
Oh jeez, they went all the way to there. God damn, dude.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't accused me of rape, but you know, the year, it's still halfway through the year. So.
Holy smokes!
Wow. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I'm sure they'll make something up.
I had a thought in my head and you blew it out.
Sorry,
with,
I was just going to say, Charlie, I used to be in the same spot you were at a while ago, and I just really wanted to commit to learning how to do good color, and it took a while. Yeah, it took a while, and you know, I still have a lot more to learn, but I am a lot further along than I used to be. So you can do it. I have faith that you can do it, Charlie.
Well, I mean, painting is one thing, and Eric, you draw in color as well. I mean,
I don't color. I paint. I paint digitally, but.
Yeah. All right, that's a good point, because I've heard you talk about that you don't like to do colors for the comics, and laying in flats is boring enough. I think I've heard you say, right?
Yeah. But I find lettering enjoyable. So go figure.
Which most people would look at as the most boring part. Is that your point?
Most likely, yeah. If you're not into it, it's mostly an afterthought.
It's less glamorous, I think.
Well, that's why I have to do the hair, because it adds.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So, it doesn't. I don't know. Definitely, I feel like in Comicsgate, lettering has gotten more. I don't know, maybe it's just my perspective. It's gotten more attention because now the letterer has a face. You know what I mean? Like normally, it's like the letterer. No one thinks about the face and the hair. You know.
And if it's Eric Weathers' face, we want it out there. Everywhere we can put it. Here's our letterer. Look how handsome he is. Look at that sexy letterer.
Comicsgate has been fantastic to me, and it's been enjoyable to have a gig where I just letter people's books and people get excited about it. So that's amazing.
Yeah, but dude, you just knocked it out of the park with you got over 60, right?
Yeah. So far, 65 almost.
And it's in demand. You might as well put it out there. You're still talking about it, right? It's not.
I got my head down working right now. It's just I haven't been on anywhere somewhat recently to even promote. But I'm not against it. I'm not like we're done.
I'm not for it. I'm against it.
It's kind of nice to shift gears though when you're. Maybe that's just me, but
it's been nice.
It's kind of like you need to shift gears sometimes. You can't always
for a bit, and I'll come back and promote.
What do you mean
again.
to not always be selling?
Yeah, like at the end, by the time you're at the end of the campaign, it's like, for me anyway, I'm just burnt out. After 2 weeks straight of just streaming everywhere you go on some channels with 2 people watching, and you're like, why am I spending an hour here? Because I know one of those 2 people is me, you know. The other one's the host, you know. But it's like, I don't know, it wears you out. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, Clint, we can tag team this one, so we'll be all right.
And I'm feeling fresh now. I'm ready.
But are you feeling fresher?
I don't know if I'll ever get fresher.
True.
Than Fresher Luke.
It's hard to get fresher than me, my man.
Let's
you'll just set the bar too high.
Well, I like to set high stakes so that people will meet them and improve themselves. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, you hear that? Luke and Clint, everybody will always say ABC. Always be closing if you want the knife set.
Yeah,
that's right.
I used to sell those knives.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. I sold Cutco, high school.
Cutco. So I went in high school. I got I don't even know why I showed up. I showed up to one of those. It was like Vector knives or something.
That's Cutco. Yeah.
Same thing. Oh, I got in there and I was like, this thing is a scam. Did they have you go into a room, like cattle, and then okay, you guys ready? Let's get all of your employee information first. And they told me it was an interview, but they took all of your information down. Then they have to pitch you on selling their knives. All this before you get the interview that I was called for. I don't know. It just seemed like the weirdest.
Yeah, I think they tried to weed you out first, and then I was 17, 18. I don't remember. It's a lifetime ago.
I got weeded out. I was like, this seems like a scam.
They make you buy the demo set that you take around. So I went home and I was like, hey, I got a job, but I have to buy all these knives. My parents gave me this. Are you sure about this? This doesn't seem legit.
Did you make money? Did you make a profit?
Dude. Heck yeah, dude.
Nice.
I was good. I was ABC in those knives.
Nice. I just couldn't sit through the spiel. It just seemed like weird to me. Speaking of
they
weird,
weeded you out. What did they weed out about you? You were too independent.
I weeded myself out.
Oh, all right. He was a bigot and a rapist.
Jeez.
Just turned things up to 11 real fast. I guess I'm just naturally kind of skeptical of a lot of things and people. I don't know how else to say it. I watch. Do you guys are? This is like totally off topic, but sometimes I watch these like alternative medicine YouTube videos.
Oh my god!
I cannot. I could start a whole YouTube channel just mocking them. Like anyway, we won't go down there. I realize that's a controversial topic too, but that kind of stuff. Like I'm just always like, this guy's trying to scam that person. That's what it looks like to me. But anyway, speaking of scams, that's as good as I got. Let's get into this,
Clint.
Let's get into this article a little bit from Screen Rant. There are a few things in here. So terminology, I think they've chosen specific terms here, which are new from the first batch from a few years ago when they did Comicsgate hit pieces. They've changed some terminology, but so they say, according to Comicsgate leader / spokesperson Ethan Van Sciver. He's Ethan Van Sciver. I don't understand the spokesperson thing. Like, would he call himself a spokesperson? I thought that was pretty funny. But Dynamite Entertainment CEO Nick Barucci has been secretly working alongside the group, criticized by many as an online harassment campaign.
Oh my
God. So by many, we don't know. This is just, he said, she said. There's this, people online are saying this thing, so we're going to put it in the article. Since 2018, a decision has apparently urged Van Sciver to break his silence as to the extent of Barucci's support up to this point. Now, if they were actually following along, this hasn't really been all that much of a secret, honestly, for a little while, right? I mean, it was out there. It's just that they watched his stream the other night. All right, the news. Feel free to jump in whenever you guys want to, if you have something.
Sorry, I was talking to my son. It's all you, show. It's your Clint. It's all you, Clint. It's your show.
I was going to say I like that they use the term or the designation leader spokesperson Ethan Van Sciver, because that sort of denotes that they're trying to set him up to fail. So if they say, well, he's the leader, so therefore everything he does reflects badly on Comicsgate, right?
Yeah.
It makes it easier for them to attack.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That's like one thing Peter Samedi posted today is that the whole group thing, and also your boy Zach in his video, he mentioned like a group. They call you a group or a campaign or they want to do that because they're going to be able to find any random thing, lowest common denominator from Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, some random anonymous person said this one rude thing. Therefore, but it doesn't go the other way.
Yeah. It's rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah. Guilt by association. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dirty ass trick.
I haven't actually heard anyone ever say anything bad. Am I the only one?
In your life, or
No, in the comics
Oh.
gate realm.
Okay.
I mean,
it's-
depends on what you call bad. I'm sure you could find people that say mean things. I have not seen racist things.
right. That's really what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
unacceptable politically, socially. I mean, Cecil drinks and people make jokes and
Yeah.
to
Most of the time-
kick somebody out. Like I've never heard anyone say anything bad. I mean,
they're interpersonal conflicts, and I think again, like those are personal conflicts between people that have nothing to do. Like, what would that make it a hate group? And also, there's personal conflicts every single day on Twitter. You see the comic book industry, them coming out with new dirt on their former friends, trying to cancel each other. That happens all the time. So their internet dirty laundry for some reason is okay to sweep under the rug, but if you screech loud enough, you can get someone's book canceled. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Clint, how many people have you? How many girls have you groomed? How many people have you groomed besides me? Besides me, groomed into your web of lies.
Do you have enough hair to groom it?
Oh,
Oh, the beard. Oh, I get it.
Facial grooming.
Down here. Actually, this was getting a couple weeks ago. I was getting into Kelsey territory, and I had to gather it all up. I was actually in the shower if I would breathe and I'd be in the shower and it was all wet, the water would suck into my lung because it was too long to breathe properly. So I actually had to trim everything down.
it sounds like a problem.
Yes, I had to do quite a bit of grooming, and Clint actually reached out to me and said, "You're getting too disgusting to even put on a stream with me." So Clint actually groomed me.
Oh.
No, there we go. We'll put that together. I would be one to talk. That's why my camera's turned off. No. Yeah,
And then he raped me. I'm saying
That's
it
an
now.
afterthought.
all of it's gonna get clipped. It'll get clipped, and there'll be each one of us is going to be an accused rapist by the time the night is over.
Oh,
I'm sure.
great. Thanks a lot, Charlie. I thought I'd escaped that accusation. But...
Yeah.
Charlie's here to make sure you can't outrun your past.
All right.
Yeah, rapist.
Honestly, like the all the dirty, the like terrible things I've seen, it's kind of like the love bombing kind of stuff. This person was nice to me, so I felt like I couldn't be rude to that person.
Yeah.
How do you exist in real life? Like you want to say rude things about everyone you know publicly, but you feel like you shouldn't because they were nice to you. Like you gotta look inside. There's a problem there, But that kind of stuff I hear. But like again, like none of those are the accusations. They didn't say Cecil's a jerk. They said Cecil is a racist, a bigot, a homophobe, and a sexist.
Mm.
Yeah.
At this point,
I mean, they're
those
not wrong.
accusations- At this point, but those accusations are calling somebody a poopy head, right?
At this point, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's
it's just language now. It's just
Yeah,
words.
it
It's
doesn't-
all they have.
Yeah.
It's enough to scare people away. I mean, this weekend, going into the weekend, I was drawing and I listened to, I think, Nerdrotics. There was a fun show. Ethan showed up on Nerdrotics. I just started listening to Nerdrotics and it was fun, man.
Yeah.
And everything was up. And then I think this morning, I listened to the first 30 minutes and Ethan was all down and sad because this guy it's enough to scare that guy away. Nick
What is it? Yeah.
Barucci, another Italian in New Jersey. A paisan ran the other way because of the mob.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said, I don't, I've talked to Nick a little bit. I've talked to one of the editors over there a little bit. They were so cool to me. And like just a little bit. They talked to me. No one else will talk to me, But
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Clint, we're making a book together. I don't want to talk to you.
I'll talk to you, Clint. How about that? I'll be your friend.
Nobody else will talk to me. Ignore the stream. But yeah, like all it took was them just being willing to treat you as a human being. Like that was it. Like, oh, you're gonna make us money by posting up again the least amount of commitment possible between a publisher and a creator is, hey, you do a cover and you promote your own campaign and we'll print the books and send you a bill or whatever, however they're going to do it. We'll send you your cut. That's like the smallest amount possible of a commitment, but that was too much. So here I'm going to go to the article here again, and it's just interesting again the language they use, same kind of language they used in the last article as well. It says Comicsgate is a campaign organized to combat what supporters view as forced diversity in the comic book industry. I don't know about you guys. I've never been campaigning to combat forced diversity. I think we make fun of it sometimes, but is that a campaign?
Yeah. No,
it's not the same thing at all. Like we're not campaigning anything.
It's an aspect. I mean, the forced diversity is an aspect because what was it? Sarah Pichelli drew the Miles Morales book. I'll read that. That's fantastic. And Stuart Immonen drew the Black Captain America. I'll read that. That's great. But when it keeps going, and it's really the propaganda, the nonstop propaganda.
Yeah,
that's what drives everybody away. That's what the forced diversity is an aspect of.
Right.
That everybody's running. How long could they do that, and how much could sales tank before they realize people want to be entertained, not preached to? And I mean, I hate to say it. I'm almost, Clint, I always have this feeling of, I mean, we have our brief delay before we get our book out there. And I have this feeling of, quick, Clint, let's hurry up. Let's get our book out there because people are running away from that sinking ship. And Nick Barucci just got back on it.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that feels that? Do you feel that?
No, I hadn't thought about it that way, but that's what it feels like.
There's a couple of things, but it feels like it's maybe the market's going to get flooded now. Everyone realizes.
Well, I mean, they're all gonna. I mean, people are exiting that. That side of the industry, right?
Oh yeah.
And we're over here. We're on the side where the energy. We're on the side where the energy is culminating and blossoming, and they're on the dying side of it. Yeah. And they just abused that guy Nick Barucci into getting back onto the sinking side.
Yeah.
Does that feel right the way I'm seeing it?
No, that's exactly correct.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You're right. And the thing is though that it does take time because like over here you're talking about building a relationship directly with your fans, and not treating them poorly. And so like we've seen a lot of examples of comic book professionals coming over or just crowdfunding something on their own, and they're not doing great. Like Sean Gordon Murphy he's like a superstar in the comic book industry, and he's like 200 and something thousand.
Mm-hmm.
That is an outlier. That's the best possible. There are a lot of guys that have come over and done their own crowdfunding projects, and just it's been miserable. And they haven't even, like Rob Liefeld. I think of Rob Liefeld's book. Did he ever finish it and actually ship it out to people? No. There's so many of them haven't even finished it.
Well, why? What's preventing him from finishing? I don't understand that.
I don't either. But
he's been making comics for 30 years. What's stopping him?
Himself. He's stopping himself. It's Rob Liefeld. What do you expect? He's always late with books.
But it's not just him. There are a list. I've made videos of this, but like lists and lists of comic pros that have books that are 7 years late. Crowdfunded books. It's insane. They never get talked about.
Comicsgate are the ones that are always late. They're always on. That's the argument against CG from non-CG crowdfunders is Comicsgate's always late.
Did you see that?
Well, did you get Flying Fortress on time? Yeah, I think you did. So no, it's not always late. Well, and I'm not the only one who wasn't.
Downcast 2 is going to be in like 2 weeks late. Because technically, I said it was July, but
that's not your fault.
I know, but I can live with a couple weeks. I think.
Is that Frazetta right there? Could you scroll down 2 more clicks?
Yeah,
is that Frazetta?
Yeah, that's Frazetta.
Okay.
I didn't know Frazetta did Vampirilla. I'd never seen that.
He's done. I think he's done a few Comics thinks. I think so. But yeah, this article, I don't know exactly where it is, but they actually do say that Comicsgate is known for being late on books. I'm trying to figure out where it is. It says it in this article.
It's such a stupid argument because, being late delivering a product in crowdfunding is like synonymous. Like you're going to be very hard pressed to find any project, whether it's comics or anything else, on a crowdfunder that is going to deliver on time because there's just so many different moving parts.
It's tough. If you had everything finished before, I can see people like Brian Polito he's got a machine built basically. He's probably getting all his books out on time.
Sure.
But far and wide, especially for most people, it's their first book.
Yeah, mistakes are going to be made. Yeah,
it happened. Yeah. It's just insane. Let's see. Where was it at? So, Forced Diversity. The campaign has preached that their mindset is about giving fans what they want in comics by making better books. However, the group has come under fire for multiple harassment campaigns. I'd like to see what is a harassment campaign?
Where did that happen? Show us
where's the proof?
Yeah,
I never did any harassment campaign. If having a different opinion counts, I guess. Well, we're changing words. Let's see. I
gotta say this too. Usually, when people say, "Here's the thing," multiple harassment, put a link in the article, a hot link.
Yeah,
I just read Matt Taibbi's article about the left and the right switching. I don't know if anybody saw that or anybody is that interested. All throughout the article, there's little links. When he says in 2005, so and so said this, link. Yeah. In 2011, so and this happened. Yeah. So here, multiple harassment campaigns. Put a link.
Yeah.
Let me see the harassment campaign. Or is it not there?
Cite your sources. Yeah. This is not just harassment campaigns. This is harassment campaigns against marginalized creators.
It's very specific.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Marginalized creators like conservatives in the comic book industry?
Oh, man. Burned. Associating with the alt-right. How many alt-righters have you guys associated with? First off, that term is kind of, I don't know. Like I hear a lot of things from different people. It's
fuzzy at best, right?
One term got used against itself.
It's like when you go to the North Pole, everything outside of the North Pole is south. That's what the alt-right is now.
Good.
I like that.
That's good.
Yeah. So anything that's not socialist.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry,
Clint, go.
I'm glad that Luke. I'm glad you used the term alt-left. That's one that it has to be used more often because
Well, another term that you mentioned here, the forced diversity, right? I think that shouldn't be called forced diversity. It should be called toxic diversity because it's putting identity and politics at the top of the hierarchy above story and character.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
this is what
is Charlie doing?
Is he getting
a Guinness?
Nice again. Yeah. But this basically sums up
mocking me to my face is what he's doing. What I have, look what you don't have.
No ice for you.
There it is. Go to the grocery store.
Semantics. That's essentially what I'm getting from this article.
Yeah.
In that they're using the same, this is a new set of semantics. They're using the word campaign an awful lot when they didn't used to. And they're just trying out these new terms because the whole hate group thing hasn't really showed up, at least not in any of these two articles that I read, because it's just ridiculous.
I think the way that we fight against this is that we do a better job of coining terms than they do that are more succinct and a bit more truthful.
Yep. There is so much power in a good word.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Like Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. People hate Obamacare, but they like the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah. I could have launched my campaign as Operation Zephyr and made $3,000. Instead, I changed it to Battlebrick Road and I'm at 65.
There you go.
I think you would have made more than 3,000, but I do agree with the name change. It's definitely a great name.
Battlebrick Road is strong.
If I hadn't gone with Forsaken Gods and instead gone with Tits and Ass, I would have made $10,000 by now.
Actually, always go with tits and ass. I don't know how. There's nobody that doesn't like those things. Just put a little bit. Just a little bit.
I can think of a few people that do, but we don't like those people either. So.
Ass, titty.
Yeah.
That's what in the words of Fragaboom.
This is what
Fragaboom is
Fragaboom's
100% right.
channel taking down.
Ass, titty.
So here's the next complaint they have: exorbitant prices for the individual books.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous. Again, like the same pricing. I think the pricing structure was based off of like initially Brian Pulido's. It's expensive to produce comics if you're paying people. If you're not and you're exploiting your creators, maybe it's less expensive if you're not paying them, perhaps, or not paying them very good. So that's a factor.
Clint, I'm feeling very exploited.
Are you?
But here's my hope.
Yeah.
I hope you feel exploited too.
It's a mutually expletive. Yeah,
that's right. Let's exploit each other.
Well, I'm exploiting all y'all. So
there we go.
There you
we
go.
can make bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Failure to deliver crowd-funded projects on time. They're ignoring the ones that were delivered on time, though. I have to say, there were most of them. I think most books that I've backed have been on time. There have been some that have been late. I think there's some I'm waiting for. Again, I'm not super stressed about any of them at all, actually. But that's a silly.
I just got the College of the Dead and the and Malin's book. Did Malin launch his third book?
Wednesday or Thursday. I got Brand today. Brand is finally in my hands.
Nice.
The first one?
Yeah.
not the second one.
No,
But the
he's
second
still in
one
the first
launched. Did they launch the second one?
He launched it. He's still fulfilling the first
okay.
one. Yeah. So he's still shipping those out.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, like all this kind of stuff is actually crowdfunding. Like you learn some hard lessons, I think, make some bad decisions, but it happens throughout the comic book industry of people delivering late books. So for that to be an exclusive complaint against Comicsgate is just a lie. Let's see. On Sunday, top Dynamite talent, including Mark Russell. I literally did not know who Mark Russell is. I don't know if that makes me out of touch or.
I still don't know who he is. I mean,
Okay,
let's be honest.
He's a nobody. Don't worry about him.
So maybe top talent is they keep saying that again. The same terminology they're using to basically emotionally blackmail Dynamite. Top talent. All of your top talent is fleeing your sinking ship. Mark Russell announced that they were going to end their relationship with the company following public support of Comicsgate properties on variant covers for Dynamite Comics. Dynamite has ended such projects, but Van Sciver revealed the two have been allegedly working together for years. Dun dun dun. Who else has been working with Ethan? They ought to have their careers ended.
Well, that's what they want, though. I mean, honestly, that's what they want.
Didn't he used to work for DC Comics? Should DC Comics get canceled too? By the same logic.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're going to get canceled anyway when AT&T gives them the axe.
That's true.
They'll probably take credit for that. Like, we canceled DC because they're a problematic company.
Yeah. Here's another accusation. This is bold. So they're saying about this relationship, a relationship intentionally kept quiet to protect the publisher and Barucci directly. I have to go back and watch Ethan's stream. I don't remember that ever being a fact that it was kept quiet to protect Dynamite. That seems like they're really reading in between the lines.
Well, I want to know. I find it funny this article doesn't point out who exactly they're trying to protect him from.
Oh, that's such a great point.
Could it be the person who's writing this article right now?
Protected. Oh my gosh, that's clever. That cuts like a knife because they have a harassment campaign that is out there searching and lurking.
Yeah. So and then they say, "Oh wait, this relationship was kept quiet to keep them protected. Protected from who? Oh, just other bad people, not us."
Yeah,
that is a good point. And I mean,
harassment campaign.
Yeah.
Sir Networks.
Perfect.
Speaking of campaigns,
Yes,
the
Forsaken
Forsaken
God.
Guards. Let's do another commercial break. here
Let's
for-
do it. Yeah.
Forsaken
You know,
Guards.
in that article they mentioned. Let's talk about some rewards, some perks here, because in the article they talked about how it's all overpriced, but you can get a copy of Forsaken Gods for $15 plus a whole bunch of extras, guys.
Holy, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
I like
I'm practically paying you to take this book.
Physical book plus digital book. How 60 pages?
Yeah,
This is substantial.
but if
That's
you click on it, it's got a bunch of extras. You get a trading card, you get stickers, and you get an acrylic pin. And it's a limit of 100. So get in now. We've got 66 that have already been claimed. So grab some more. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the acrylic pin.
Acrylic pin. Do you have a photo of that?
Not right now, no.
But it's gonna be acrylic.
Well, I
And
know. I'm just curious.
It's gonna look good. It's gonna look good.
I'm just curious about it. I've got a stretch goal I need to come up with for the next stretch goal, and I don't know what I want to do yet.
Oh, well,
Wow.
maybe posters are always good for stretch
No,
goals.
I've got posters and trading cards, and
Oh, okay.
I still want to see that Tiger King haircut.
that's the $100,000 stretch goal.
Oh, okay.
And that is probably just going to have to be Photoshopped because there's no way on God's green earth that I'm going to do that.
What if you got your wife involved and she was like, "Yeah, this has to happen," you know?
You definitely don't know my wife. She would riot, and then
A ride of one.
exactly.
I think that's just a crazy person screaming and smashing.
Oh yeah, most likely.
She's like, end the campaign at 99,999.
Yeah, she's
and-
like, I brought it up. She's like, yeah, you can do it, and then you'll immediately, like, the people will, the fans will uprise if I just immediately cut it.
Yeah,
She doesn't understand. That's all right though.
just like take lots of pictures. You could go like on one trip, go to the grocery store, just like be seen in pictures, in within like a
Hold
2
up a
hour.
newspaper.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
go to a
No,
dentist.
the thing is I don't want to do it. That's the problem. It
Oh,
doesn't
but-
even matter
but
that she
she's
doesn't want to see
willing.
it.
But yeah,
She's perfectly willing. She's saying,
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised.
$100,000.
I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up.
Your hair is fabulous.
morning.
Is it worth $100,000?
Yeah. She's
Hmm.
I wouldn't put it past her to cut my hair Delilah style.
but we'll look back at these tiers. That was a nice.
Wait. Take it from a bald man. Your hair is worth $100,000. Don't let her cut it.
When you're bald, you start like looking up all sorts of things. Does this really work? Propecia? Did you ever look into Propecia at all? I read.
Oh yeah, it does work.
It works, but
It
at
also-
a cost.
It makes other things not work.
Yeah, I read about it. I was like, nah, I'm happy being bald. Actually, that's the route I'm going.
You got lots of hair and a soft penis.
But you could be like me and have a massive mane and an incredibly engorged penis.
Oh,
There you
my.
go. Spoken like an Aussie.
Yeah,
No man in LA would say that.
that's right. Because it's true, dog.
It totally reminds me every time now I hear an Australian say something high tea is Von Klaus said it's British Texas, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I've heard that one as well. Yeah, that's hilarious. But it's British Texas, but without guns and healthcare.
that's funny.
Freedom.
Yeah,
No guns,
no guns.
but that's recent.
No, that was
They had the whole buyback thing, right?
The 80s
yeah.
or 90s?
It was
10 years ago?
it happened 1980, I think, because that was around the time when the Port Arthur massacre happened, and that was what caused John
One
Howard.
incident.
Well,
Big
it was the highest rated kill count. It like went in as the highest record number of people died for a mass shooting, and so John Howard was like, "Well, I'm eliminating guns," and everybody said, "You're never gonna be prime minister again. We're never gonna re-elect you." and he was prime minister for the next 10 years after that. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've just seen video of them destroying just mountains of guns.
yeah.
And it's like, can you literally? Is there any way to get a gun in Australia? Like, is there under any circumstances?
Like
Hunting,
very
right?
special, hunting, and if you live out on a property, you've got like cattle, because obviously wild boar are a big problem in Australia because they're like a foreign infestation, and I think those are the two that I can really think of. And if you're a police officer, obviously.
What if
How
you're a
could you
criminal?
not have a gun? Aren't you out? Aren't there a lot of people out living in dangerous areas? Don't they
Yeah, but
need guns?
usually we just take a cricket bat to whoever's trying to hurt us. So
Can
Not
you,
a
have a
person,
gun if
only
you're a criminal?
animals.
no, and you can't be a cop if you have a criminal record either.
Well, it's just so weird to think about, because it's like I could get a gun at any time. I've got
Oh,
one
yeah.
in the room.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
America, baby.
this is the land of the free, man. Like,
It's
buy
true.
fireworks and guns and blow them both up. So. Or use one to blow up the other one or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So we got that tier, the limit of 100 on that, and we got the digital tier if you're low on funds and you live overseas. Another thing I got to point out for this campaign is that I'm only shipping this to the US for now, because if this fulfills, this will be my first successful campaign, and so I'm just taking it one step at a time. But I'll go ahead.
I said that's smart.
Yeah,
Don't
thank you.
overextend yourself.
Yeah. So if this does really well, I'll definitely want to do a future campaign, and in that future campaign, I'll expand the shipping out to overseas as well. So if you miss out this time, don't worry about it. I'm going to include issue 1 in a tier in a future campaign that you can get along with issue 2 as well.
Nice.
I think Clayton and Rob right now are saying, "You're not shipping to us, dude."
Well,
Holy shit.
I looked at it, and like the shipping costs were like $20 or something, and it's like, why would you pay $15 for a book and then pay more for shipping to get the book? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It'd be cheaper for you to run your other Indiegogo campaign where you're just shipping guns to Australia.
Yeah,
I like
the
this
only problem
one.
is I got to pay off customs to get those guns in there. Oh, hooray!
Says I backed you. Does that mean
Thank
I
you,
can?
sir.
You just
Thank
want to
you.
do this? I'm gonna refresh this. Oh yeah,
Whoa!
Hey,
that was sweet.
Man, coming on here was a good idea.
What a great jump.
I know. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Copy the link again. There's no other joy. Like seriously, streaming and then seeing a campaign jump up like that is beautiful.
Dude,
This
this is the first time that's happened to me.
congrats, man.
Thank you.
It's awesome. 66% funded. This is a totally manageable goal. So yeah, if you haven't backed it yet, check it out. Book looks really, really good.
And it's going to be really good, guys. You're getting value for money with this thing. It's inside the book. It's going to be 50 pages of story, 5 pages of behind-the-scenes sketches, plus 5 pages of special guest art done by none other than Charlie himself.
Charlie know
Hi.
that?
He
does now.
I'll be drawing those 5 pages.
No, just 1 page. That's fine.
They're going to be based on this
Guinness.
this
Oh,
this hand.
Some nudes of Cecil.
Probably if you didn't feel exploited before, now you should.
Yeah, I like feeling exploited. It makes me feel a little bit dirty.
But no, seriously, I'm gonna get some special guest stars. I would like Charlie. Maybe we can talk about it, Charlie. Who knows? But Narwhal's definitely gonna do a special pinup. It's gonna be like the pinups of old, like the backs of the collected editions of, say, Hellboy, when artists would do their own versions.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
In the back, I always enjoyed seeing different versions of Hellboy, and so I kind of wanted to do that with this as well.
It's awesome. Check it out. It's in the link in the description below. Do we want to keep talking about this article, or are we done with it? That's my question.
I don't know. I care about the article, but I mean the event is. It's almost baffling because I don't know. I sort of said it before that the tide seems to be going 100% in our direction to the point where I feel this rush to get our book out. For Dynamite to buckle like that, to how much pressure? I mean, because there's a couple people that are loud and angry. They must have enough people in an industry pulling at them that they think it's bigger than it is, but it's not. If Dynamite was answering to the consumer, I mean, haven't they already seen the sales with Ethan and just the covers that they do? Don't they?
This Billy Tucci one, for example, they got $86,000.
Yeah, I mean,
they've made a ton of money just collectively. I think this is a good idea, even though I think you can do maybe too many variant covers. That's possible.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but remember the speculators market back in the 90s, right?
Yeah. There's definitely it's kind of a bit much, but like the concept of, hey, we're doing a special variant for your fan base from your YouTube channel, or wherever they're going to get their fans from. I don't see anything wrong with that business model. You know what I mean? Is to like supplement their sales and everything. But for a while there today, they had all of these campaigns down. Let me make sure. This should be one that's run by Dynamite, I believe. Like Billy Tucci's campaign was down. They were all down. They're back up now, except for Cecil's. So I'm sure it was a housekeeping error. But view full profile. There we go. Yeah, 25 campaigns. But now, like, I don't know, they're going to think twice every time that they sign on a new person to do a campaign. Not to mention,
no, they just need to get the nod from Mags and her crew whether or not they're acceptable.
Yeah, well,
wait.
Yeah, exactly. Frank,
is Miss Fury a Dynamite property?
Yeah.
Yes.
I backed that. I didn't realize that. I didn't.
It's run. Yeah, this is the campaign's run by them. So they're doing the interiors essentially. I think this one might be a little different, actually. Miss Fury. I know Billy Tucci had a relationship with the interior artist and everything, and this might be a slightly different
professional relationship.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Let's be clear.
Yes, but for example, so Charlie, professionals in the industry going to crowdfunding. Do you know Frank Cho? He's
he's a big name, right?
Big name. This is his campaign. It's been up for a while. There's only 17 days left. He's got $3,300. Okay, with Dynamite and Frank Cho versus.
Well, he's one of the biggest names, right?
Yep. He's a pretty darn big name.
Versus Cecil. What did Cecil make in a day?
It's not going to say here anymore, but he had like 10 grand.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
He had like 10 grand.
In an hour.
And Donald DeLay helps. I think Donald DeLay is better than Frank Cho.
Yeah, I mean,
can I go out on that limb and say Donald DeLay is better than Frank Cho?
Yes, you can
say that. Yeah. Now it is on the internet, and it is therefore eternal. But yeah, you get the idea here. I want to go back to the campaign. Where was it? Oh, back. Here we go. But yeah, like, so you have these professionals that work in comics that are big names. It doesn't translate to crowdfunding as well as you might think it would.
No, because again, it's nobody knows about it. He can maybe put a post out on Twitter, but where was this getting advertised? I didn't know about it until I saw a screenshot of it on Twitter saying, "Look, Cecil beat Frank Cho." Like,
I mean, Mindy Wheeler is even beat out Frank Cho. Mindy Wheeler has a smaller Twitter following than I do, smaller YouTube channel. I don't even know if she posts on YouTube. Hardly.
That's good art.
Yeah, but like you get the idea here. It's not.
Who's Mindy? I don't know the name.
It's complicated.
Yeah, that's complicated. She's a small creator. I'll say that.
Is she a Comicsgate person?
She was
complicated. Not anymore.
Yeah, you know what's helpful about me?
I don't know. It's hard to keep
I don't
track.
know anything, so I'm the conduit for the audience.
Yeah.
I can ask the right questions because I know nothing.
Yeah, that's this kind of stuff though. Like all of the like interpersonal relationships and drama. I'm like, it's just. Interpersonal.
Was it Mindy Wheeler one of the models that dies in the 1989 Batman movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, right? I mean, remember when it was the combination of the deodorant and the makeup, and the Joker was killing people with those different combinations? Was it Mindy Wheeler, one of them? Now she's an artist.
I feel like it was for some reason.
It sounds true to me. Why not? Yeah,
that was my
Just
movie
consider
when
it
I
to
was
be
a kid,
fact.
man. When I was a kid, that movie came out. I freaked out.
What is
1989.
what is Resident
I was-
Antagonist saying? Why is he saying this?
Yeah, it says Clint, our only hope is for the weirdos on your stream to start putting out more comics. Why are you guys procrastinating?
I'm not. I'm putting
Literally
out
working right now.
put out as many comics as I can. The problem is I can't get them funded. So.
That speaking of getting funded,
Yes.
Forsaken Gods. on
Forsaken
Indiegogo-
Gods, guys. Yeah.
on Indiegogo right now. You know, the crazy thing is too with this little YouTube. Let's see, you got 1,400. Frank Cho has
Yeah.
33. You could beat.
Yeah.
You could totally beat Frank Cho.
Guys, let's do it. Let's fucking beat Frank Cho. Like, of all people, Frank Cho should be part of Comicsgate, because I remember it was a little while ago where the same Karens that are harassing Dynamite right now were harassing Frank Cho for his covers. And he bent the knee. He bent the fucking knee. But I don't believe in that shit. I'd bend my knee to nobody except the customer.
That was Frank Cho. It was more like he bent over.
Yeah.
Or drew somebody. At least drew somebody bent over.
Yeah. So yeah, let's show everyone that Frank Cho doesn't have what it takes to make really awesome books with really cool stories, which is what Forsaken Gods is. Charlie, do you have a question about Forsaken Gods?
How do you make those amazing colors?
Oh my god, that's the same question.
How do you come up with the skull? The
Gradients,
skull gods?
man. It's gradients. Just use gradients.
Yeah. Do you want to know my first?
Where-
Is that what you're asking?
Wait, no. Let me ask the best question that anyone ever asks.
Okay.
Anybody that does anything. Where do you get your ideas?
Oh my god. Well, go ahead.
Charlie, do people ask you that too? Like as artists, that's the big number one question for writers. I hate that question. I mean, it's fine, but it's like, really?
Until
You get the
working
answer.
with you, Clint, I've been working in total isolation for 17 years. no one's ever asked me anything.
Well, I can actually answer your question, Charlie, if you want.
Oh, it is. I mean, I asked it jokingly, but Forsaken Gods, that's right in the title. That's pretty provocative.
I know, right? Because I wanted it to feel epic, and I wanted it to feel like, because having worked in animation, one of the laws or the rules, you know this, Charlie, is that one of the things the audience wants to see is they want to see spectacle. They want to see. Sorry, what?
AAT?
No.
No.
Well, I know you misunderstand me, Fresher, because I've been working in advertising. So all that I ever did was appeal to people. That was all my job.
Yeah, sure, I get that. Different markets, different skills for different markets. But for me, it's like I want to show the audience something they haven't seen before. And Skull Knight was something he was. The initial idea for him was, you've heard of Doolahans, right?
Doolahans?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know about the legends of the Doolahan? The most famous one is the Headless Horseman.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's Doolahan? How does that?
So Doolahan, basically, the idea of a Doolahan is it's this whoever, like a person who's dead, they get resurrected, and whoever possesses their head or their skull can control them to do whatever they want. And so my original idea for Skull Knight, and it will be something that I'll visit in future books as I sort of roll out the story, is let's say you've got this impenetrable castle and you're laying siege to it, and you don't have time to lay siege to it. So all you do is you get the head of one of these Doolahans, like Skull Knight, right? And you just use a catapult and either smuggle it or just shoot it into behind the walls or enemy lines. And because the Doolahan is always looking for his head, like, he'll always go to where it is and nothing will get in his way. So if you shoot it over there, then there's this huge hulking metal thing and it just barrels through the walls and then bada boom, bada bing, you've taken over the castle and lickety split.
Ah, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you
Sorry.
I saw it. DULAHANDS.
Yeah. You can look it up. I don't remember the specific spelling. I think it's like something weird because it's Gaelic. I think in origin.
Well, I was gonna say you don't spell in Australia. I'm sorry. I forgot
No.
about that.
Well, I mean, Resident Antagonist says Irish myth, nifty critter. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's sort of part of the small part of this larger thing of folklore and stories, and sort of in my research and in trying to understand stories and understand where they come from and why we as humans tell stories to each other, to sort of like, initially we did it to sort of pass information down from the generations because we hadn't invented writing yet. And so then we did invent writing and we invented books and just this whole evolution. And I guess it's kind of applicable to today because obviously, we've got writers knocking down statues, and statues are kind of like landmarks for stories. Like this person lived a life and he did these things. Man. And so, I kind of wanted to tap into that because folklores are in a way, they're kind of ancient stories that have been passed down through the generations about the exploits of someone who did great things in the past. And in a way, they kind of teach a lesson. And so I want to tap into that with Forsaken Gods because, obviously Skull Knight, when you see him, you're like, who is he? What's he about? Like, why is he the way he is? And he actually has a very tragic story. And I won't reveal what the story is because that's going to be the big reveal towards the end. But it's very much sort of tied into this whole idea of fairy tales and how even some of the oldest, say, Grimm fairy tales are actually quite dark, even though they tell, they communicate very important lessons. So
the oldest what type of fairy tale?
Truth.
The Grimm, even Grimm fairy tales, right? Like, the old ones like Goldilocks or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
they were dark.
They were very dark. Yeah.
I read them to my kids, and I have to edit shit out.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, part of that darkness is, it's
essential.
What you said. It's what you said before. Like anger and fear are like great motivators, right? Like we as a species have just evolved to sort of imprint on something that scares the hell out of us because that's the only way we could have survived, right? So yeah, it really goes into some really deep stuff.
Yeah, I've got sorry, somebody pointed out, Reno in the chat pointed out that Frank Cho's campaign made over 35,000 on Kickstarter. So this was a supplemental campaign. So Fresher Luke has to make over $35,000.
I like the way you think, sir.
That's the goal now. It's been set out. Another comment here from, I'm going to say your name wrong, so I just won't say it. But
Sci-fi.
Is that sci-fi? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a fun way to spell it. All right.
It's awesome. I love this guy already.
Yeah. Use the Wayback Machine to see Cecil's campaign before closing. It made so just under $10,000 in 3 days. Whoa. For a variant. This isn't a new like fresh comic book. This is a variant cover campaign. That's it. So that's impressive. That's substantial. Not to mention how many Dynamite covers Ethan's not going to do now. So I know he collectively made a lot. I mean, so now those aren't happening, and I think others won't happen that maybe would have. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I'm caught up on everything.
I have a caveat onto that. It's called Cecil's cover, but it's really Donald DeLay's cover, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. It's
and
the Donald DeLay cover of Cecil.
Now, Donald, imagine if he didn't rip up that piece of artwork. He would have sold that for bank.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He ripped it up? What do you mean?
There was a version of it that got rejected, but it was very similar, and he just decided he didn't need it anymore, so he ripped it up.
Come on.
Now imagine having a variant of a cover that was canceled.
Yeah.
A variant of the canceled variant.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, even Biggins was like, I would have paid $1,000 for that.
Yeah.
Does Donald go on streams?
Not a lot.
I've heard him speak. I've heard him speak once.
He has his own channel too. He streams on.
He does where?
Twitch, I think.
He'll go on.
Come
Twitch.
on, algorithm. Algorithm should have brought me Donald DeLay by now.
Yeah.
Where are you, Donald?
Donald, he's super creative with when he makes his own video content. Like he used to make these pre-recorded. I think it's been a while. Pre-recorded videos with like this puppet that he has, and he's very creative with making those videos. I think he's funny. But yeah, I'm sure he's busy or whatever. But
have you invited him on?
Yeah.
Talk to Donald,
I think
I admire his work. That's why.
Yeah, I've had him on. He's come on once, but I think he's might be in our group. He's in one of my groups that I drop links in. He just doesn't come on very often. He'll be on Ethan sometimes, but he doesn't usually say very much.
It's because he's very busy drawing. He's making great art.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you get involved in, if I put something on Twitter, I get sort of just distracted by it. Like,
yeah,
it almost destroys the workday.
Yeah,
you can't
so
do
you
it
have to stay away
until
from
you're done.
Yeah,
Don't do it until you're
Yeah,
done.
I mean,
with it.
this is a nice, but I mean, chatting with everybody. I mean, this always feels to me like drinks after work with you guys.
yeah.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, it
And
can be.
I used to leave advertising agencies and go and have drinks with your coworkers at the end of the day. And this is the first time in 15 years that I've felt that. I love this.
Yeah.
I love
You're
this.
welcome.
Thanks, guys.
It's just cool that
Thanks,
there
Comicsgate.
are like-minded people that want to do comics. Like I don't know. For the longest time, I was just like, I'm the only one like me that wants to be in comics. So obviously,
No, I hear
wasn't-
you, man. That's what it felt like. I mean, I've said this before, but I'd do the con circuit. I was like, wow, everybody here thinks differently than I do.
Yeah.
How is this gonna work? Because it seems like they really don't like the way I think.
And
I always got that sense going to them, like all those people were just really mean underneath, and I couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
They're sad.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I've got to wonder at conventions or like these in-person, after a convention, everyone went to the hotel bar and then that's where all the bad stuff happens. But I got to wonder, like, is it like Twitter where they're all, hey, did you hear that so-and-so is a rapist? You know what I mean? Like this kind of stuff. We got to figure out how to stop this person from getting published,
It's problematic.
Those rapists asked the girl. I mean, there's a few real stories, but for the most part,
Yeah, most of it's like
What-
I was hit on and it made me uncomfortable and I can't let it go.
and
Yeah.
especially, I mean, let's be honest. Comic book people, illustrators, artists may not be the most socially inclined.
Yeah,
And maybe they're just desperate.
So,
They're
I mean,
desperate.
suddenly you go from, I love Red Sonja. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Why are you backing away? Because you're horrifying. Take it easy. Take it down a notch, Conan. So that's part of it, right?
you
That's
just
definitely part
described
of
all my first dates.
Certainly it is. I mean, it's weird. And then the weird thing too is if you see someone acting like a doofus on the internet and then you meet them in person, that's why this like YouTube is so effective because you get to hear the person talk. You get to see their face sometimes. Not tonight though, but like you get to see them talk, and you can't be as fake. You know what I mean? Or calculating. It's going to come through like, oh, that person's kind of a weirdo. Now their Twitter makes sense. I get it now.
I remember a long time ago in art school, a friend of mine, she would deal with the regular thing in school, and we'd all be friends at school, and then she would say, "Oh, so and so said this to me last night in a chat room." This is around 1998, 2000, so there were chat rooms. It wasn't quite what it is now. And I would say, he said that? He's so quiet in school, right? Because once you're online instead of in the real world, people's balls really come out, and they're ready to, say every ridiculous thing they would never say in their standard lives. Because now instead of being, Mr. Anderson, they think they're Neo. I guess.
Good way of putting it.
That goes across the whole spectrum, and all of these aggressive people who would have never been aggressive antagonists in the past. Now they're ready to show you that there's no gravity when they do their kung fu. Is that what it amounts to?
I equate it to, when you're walking along the footpath and there's this little dog behind the fence and he's barking at you, like really going at it, going rah rah rah, like he's tough. He does that because he thinks he's safe. The minute you jump that fence and go, yeah, you want to go, he's like, oh.
Yeah. There's this like veil of safety with anonymity, or just like not even an anonymity, but like you feel, you're safe in your home. You'll never see this person in real life.
Yeah.
So you can say whatever you want,
Yeah. Until you do meet that person in real life, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm sorry.
You can destroy their publishing, their publishing perspectives because you don't like them, and you don't lose sleep over that. But if you met the person, or if someone did it to you, which once all those Dynamite campaigns closed, then I saw a lot of people flipping out. their campaigns were closing, But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't know why. I guess the people seem far away. They seem not real or something. So you can be awful to them. That's all of a sudden okay.
Yeah, I mean, Fresher Luke, I'm sure in your 20 plus years of working, you've been in the room for people to be critically harsh to your work, right? And then you had to sit there and redraw it for someone on the scene, and it didn't crinkle your skin. You didn't crumple under the pressure, because your work is your work, and then you're these two separate things, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It seems as though people can't make the distinction. If somebody's going to criticize your book, your artwork, they're not trying to destroy you. They don't like this, or they want to change that. But it seems like these people they're unifying the two ideas, and they can't separate the criticism from the personal.
Well, I think they think there's something else there with that, because it was Robbie Recton who was saying that Frank Cho did something against his child when he drew Gwenpool in a Frank Cho pose. Like,
really?
Yeah. It was that was the reason why we were like, Frank Cho, why don't you come over here to CG? We're not gonna, show you our.
Why? What was the thinking that it was against his child?
Because he created Gwenpool.
That's right.
And Spider-Gwen or whatever. I think it was a character. I don't know.
Yeah, hang on. Let me connect this. So he created Gwenpool based on his child. It's sort of like, hey, look, you're a superhero.
Spider-Gwen.
No. Spider-Gwen. He was just calling Spider-Gwen his child.
Oh, I get it. Oh.
He gave birth to this fictional character.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Therefore, yeah.
How dare you determine my child in this seductive manner? Oh my God. He really went there?
He went there.
Cringy.
Holy shit. Well, look, like, that's so weird, because, like, I've had people do, like, I did this 380-page graphic novel called Bikini Cowboy, and it is everything you expect. But I've had so much Rule 34 done of that, and they do it thinking that they're going to get to me, but I'm like, I don't care. It's just lines on paper, dude.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, it's like, so what? I mean, it's kind of cool that you would think that it's worth your time to do lewd fan art of my work. I mean, I don't give a shit. I can just ignore it if I don't like it. So.
Yeah. Well, and
tell me more about Bikini Cowboy. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's online for free. You can check it out.
350 pages?
380.
Woo.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Nice. Yeah, it's and the fact that Marvel Comics actually owns Spider-Gwen, so there's that little fact too.
There's that too, but let's not let get in the way of truth.
Oh, wait a minute.
His truth.
So he can't be Comicsgate because he's getting residual checks. That's a big residual check, ain't it?
Well, Ethan gets residuals like crazy.
Yeah.
All that Green Lantern stuff he created, he talks all about the royalties he gets from that. all the Injustice 2 and Lego Batman 3 games he gets because he created Atrocitus and a bunch of other characters. So yeah, DC is very
All right. So
very-
if Franco Cho left, they couldn't cut off the residual check, right? I mean,
No, you don't understand.
legally. No, I don't.
Robbie Rodriguez created Spider-Gwen,
No.
and Frank Cho drew that character in a provocative pose. And he said, "How dare you do that to my child?" Or whatever. I'm not explaining it exactly right, but yeah. And that's when Comicsgate was like, "Oh, he might be one of us." But then he was like, "If Comicsgate," he said, "Oh, I see. That's how it's gonna be."
Yeah.
Now it's become just the boogeyman that they virtue signal to on a regular basis. By the way, just your daily reminder that Comicsgate is a hate group.
Comicsgate is a hate group.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that we hate bad comics.
Yeah.
We're Sid Vicious. We're Johnny Rotten.
Yeah.
And it's just starting.
Isn't it weird that now being conservative is punk rock?
It
I
is.
love it.
When did that flip happen? It just flipped overnight, and all of a sudden now you consider
January 4th, 2016.
There you go. Yeah.
January 20th, 2016, whatever.
Fresher
day it
Luke, I have a secret for you though. I think a lot of us may not be conservatives.
Oh well,
I
I'm
mean-
not either, but I get along with conservatives now more than I do anyone on the left. So.
I always have, I think. But I used to argue a lot. I'm a libertarian, right? So but essentially what that makes me is a libertine in a lot of ways, right? So I mean Clint and Eric and I may not line up but politically, but that's last.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's last.
Yeah.
As
Not
far
only that-
if you're gonna
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
go,
But we can talk about politics and
No,
still.
Let's talk about Forsaken Gods instead.
No, what I'm saying is we could have a conversation about politics, and it won't change any professionalism or friendship or on any level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have that
Yourself.
conversation. There's a whole other depth to the differences. You know what I mean? That they're trying to make with what exists now in the mainstream comics.
Well, I think what the real problem here is that everyone's broken the first rule, which is the two subjects you don't talk about are religion and politics, because everyone's got a different idea of it. And the problem is everything is now politics.
well that's
Politics
That's a
became a
different distinction
religion
because
too.
you can always talk about politics and religion if you're going to be a normal civilized person about it. I'm an atheist, so there are no gods to me except for the forsaken ones.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charlie.
Speaking of forsaken gods,
I've forsaken all of them.
you did get another backer. too.
I did. This is great. Let's make it to 100, guys. 100 backers.
There's only 2 backers shy from 100 backers.
I know. This is
Two
amazing.
away.
This is the greatest stream I've ever been.
Everybody
on.
in the chat, tweet
love
out
it.
the link, and just let's say, hey, let's get 2 more backers for Forsaken Gods.
Oh my
tweet out.
god.
And it's only a $15 book too. That's the thing. It's this is spitting in the face of that article we were looking at earlier.
Yeah.
Where I closed out of it. But yeah, exactly. Totally affordable book. And I gotta say, I love hearing in your voice the excitement of getting backers. It's that feeling I'm vicariously living through the joy in your voice. I love it.
Well, I mean, look, everything I've been through, and just how much Comicsgate has inspired me. I miss this camaraderie, you know what I mean? I used to have that back when I worked in animation, and then everyone lost their fucking minds. And so I had to, and they pushed me out, and so I had to go somewhere else. And here's a bunch of really cool guys who are all helping each other out, and it's like I'm amongst my peers, you know what I mean? It feels great. And to be able to sort of be a part of it a little bit is, I don't know, it's exciting to me. I get really excited by that. It's I feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself.
100% for sure. Man, I've been a freelance illustrator for, I don't know, since 2003 and I have never been a part of anything. So it's really exciting to sort of to even loosely be affiliated
Yeah.
with Comicsgate. Every day, Clint, we're getting closer and closer to launch. I feel more excited and more a part of it. But just to even feel like I'm in part. There was even a part where I was still working and I drew pages for Zach, and then went back to advertising and kept drawing all that stuff. I almost couldn't listen to Clint or Ethan's videos or anybody's videos. I stopped listening to Zach's videos because I was so annoyed that I was drawing storyboards that were going to board meetings that I couldn't be a part of it. And I felt this pull. And there's the pull. Eric, what is that? Is that your screen right now?
Yeah, this is what I've been doing all the live long, actually all week, because as some of you know, I lettered Unforgettable Tales, which is like shipping, I don't know, this week sometime, 1 and 2, and Ethan got photocopy scans of a bunch of other pages, basically issue 3, and they look like this. So I have to go in and clean them up so that Kyle can color them, because he can't really color this without prep work. So I'm the prep work guy, right? So I do this, and then I take it one step further for me, because I got to reletter it. So instead of this time, I won't be tracing over Ethan's stuff. All of this stuff was drawn on the board. So I'm going in and erasing every word balloon and every caption and making it letterable.
So you have to fill in. You're filling in parts of Cyberfrog's like hand and stuff like that too. Whoa.
So I'm filling it in with Ethan's drawings. So that I have so much of this stuff. I will like take a piece of Cyberfrog's cheek from page 17 and fit it into like page 45 or whatever. So occasionally I'll do something hand done, like leaves and stuff. But if it's Cyberfrog, I try to not touch it. That way it's still Ethan's pen strokes. Yeah. So yeah, I've done too many pages like this, but taking out it's just going to make, it's a lot of work, but it will make my job easier when it comes to lettering, because then I can actually letter it like I wanted to. Because the first ones I had to trace over. I traced over the balloons as they were placed, and there are a lot of broken rules here, so I'm gonna fix it. So that's what I've been doing most of the week, outside of a couple of days where I drew my new Scarecrow piece.
Awesome,
so yeah,
that's great.
That was some good inside baseball. Beautiful.
Yeah, man, that's intense. I gotta say, backpedaling just 1 minute here. I was thinking, Charlie, working in advertising. I think there's so much. I seriously think, especially with you, like it's entirely doable for you to do comics full time with. I'm thinking with even if we're gonna make a ton of money on Fatal, but even if it was,
I'm so nervous right now. I'm so nervous right now because we were gonna launch tomorrow, right? That was the original plan. To delay that is giving me such anxiety, because over the next couple of weeks, depending on what the launch was going to be, was what I was going to do. And if we went high quickly, then I was going to be able to say no to advertising work for the next 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Now I have no idea what to do.
See the trick? I know what you mean, man. Like I'm sitting here thinking, pattern. I gotta say no to some stuff too. But that's the joy, right? That's like how awesome a position are you in right now? Because once Fatal hits, now remember, you're gonna have to wait 30 to 60 days before you see any of that money too.
Well, no, that's fine. I'm a freelance illustrator. That's when people started. I remember when COVID hit and people started panicking. What are we gonna do without a paycheck for a month? Sometimes I don't see a check for 6 months for freelance illustration. So I'm already planned month in advance. So I mean that's the back. But I mean, there's campaigns. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, was it the Rodents of Mayhem? That book came out. I thought that book looks so cool, and then they didn't do great. And I just thought, why not? Psycho 66. I thought this is one of the coolest looking books I've ever seen. They did okay,
Yeah,
but they should have done better.
you know, we'll see how it does, but I think even if I was being completely honest here, even if for some reason like it's underwhelming, you know, I don't think it will be. I think it's going to do great. But if it is, I guarantee you there are many people that would want to give you work. You know what I mean? I don't know to what level, but I'm like, you could draw a Cyber Frog book. You know what I mean? I'm not speaking for Ethan or anything, but I'm just like, I really think that you could do it.
I think there's other people that could do Cyberfrog better than I'm a human drawer.
Don't sell yourself short, Charlie. You can do it, man. I believe in you.
There are humans you can draw too, I think, that would
well, but I mean, I think it's important to put humans in there, you know.
Yeah.
And or something. That's why I like Donald DeLay's work so much. He draws cartoony humans, and they're bouncy and they're fun, and you feel them. You know,
Ew.
I feel what Donald DeLay does. He's one of my favorites. If you put me, I think there's people that could do that Cyberfrog tech stuff better than me. So I mean, that's an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
You see the pages I'm drawing.
Yeah.
I'm good getting a human face across with some emotion and fun
and there are I don't know. I'm just saying, like I don't think you're necessarily putting all your eggs in one basket. That's all I'm saying. I think that there will be more opportunities too. But having said that, I still think that Fatal is going to do amazing. But yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling though. Like before the campaign launches, I feel like this time I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't know why. I think I'm starting to get a little bit more used to it, but it's still stressful. The night before, or like the 2 days before, it's like just anxiety. You know, it's bad.
and now we're delaying it, so it's.
I know, but you know what though? The more I think about it, it's like we'll ensure better success when I have people are opening up the mailbox and boom, there's their book from Downcast. They've got Downcast, promises kept, and then they're gonna turn on Indiegogo. They'll turn on the YouTube channel, or they'll look at their email and hey, here's the next book. You know, I think that.
Clint, are you gonna put a little thing in there that says? Are you gonna put something Fatal in your shipment?
I should, huh?
Just a little flyer, a little business card or something that
Clint,
you could
what do you
get
mean?
in 2 days.
I should.
That'll just be like, dude, get a URL.
No,
and then
yeah. I'm not.
Bob's your uncle.
I'll do
right? Isn't that what the British say?
I'll do a QR code. How about that? They can scan it. There'll be a picture. I'll take some of Charlie's beautiful art.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
a QR code is a good idea, but not everybody can do that. My phone, I have to download an app, and I hate downloading apps on my phone. So, like, some people just don't have QR code capabilities at the ready.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, if you get a URL, get fatalcomic.com, redirect your Indiegogo campaign to there. You can once you redirect that to your pre-sign up page, get a business card that has the Sweet Comics logo on one side and the Fatal logo, and it says fatalcomic.com and a QR code. That way people that don't do QR codes or maybe don't want to do QR codes can still know to go to fatalcomic.com or whatever it ends up being. Put that in everything you ship out.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I can do that, and I can get it printed pretty quick.
Yeah,
quickly.
or even use a piece of Charlie's artwork too.
Sorry,
are we going to talk logo?
Do you want to talk here? Let's pull up the logo while we're here.
We had some logo decisions to make.
We'll just do this publicly.
Yeah,
can I weigh in on a logo?
Absolutely. We have an expert opinion available. Why not?
So, am I not sharing my screen? Had to stream.
We have expert opinion available, and
this one.
First things first. I don't want to skip this super chat. Professor Murph for $4.99. Thank you so much. Says Eric, your Scarecrow would make a kick-ass Halloween costume.
Thank you very much. That's I would love to see some Scarecrow cosplay someday. That'd be pretty rad.
Yeah,
especially gender swapped.
So we're looking at some Fatal logos. We've gone through the ringer with logos, but her current logos, and they all three basically look the same, but there were minor differences here.
I don't see any difference in those.
So the top two, the difference is green. There's like little green paint splatters in here. It's mild. Okay, so that's those two. This one on the bottom, because everyone asks, what does Fatal stand for? So I thought, let's just have it put in the thing, so that way no one can ask. You know what I mean? It's the answer's right there. Hopefully it'll be.
I like the plus at the end instead of the end.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
And the little alien and the crosshairs is red. It's so red.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Charlie, you're talking about composition stuff. And I will admit I'm not smart enough. I don't get it.
All right. So do you want to bring up the things that we talked about today? Can you do that? Because all right, but first of all, that logo, the way he sent it, I think would look best straight across the top without being skewed in any direction. The one we had previous that Eric made, we bent it across the top. I thought that one looked fantastic. See, that one skewed a little bit. Straighten it, and that will look nice. Or arc it. But right now, it's just skewed and angled, and
so it's kind of a wedge shape.
I like that. It makes it look more dynamic. The only note I would give is that you see that line that goes through the middle of the F and then goes into the A.
Yeah,
I would actually line those up so that they're more synchronized.
See, I don't. So James Dean Anderson did this logo. This is all these little things. I'm like, I don't know, like what the. I just look at logos and I say that looks cool.
Well, I mean, JDA, he's like the king of logos. So.
Do we have the ARC version? Can you?
Let me stop sharing. I don't want to share my email. Sorry, we're gonna. Oh, hold on. I did one. Are you talking about the one I sent you? Just like the quick. Is that what you mean?
See, well, I mean, just because the way I drew that, there's almost a natural. I put Flynn. He's in the middle, and he's in the middle of a column, and he's the opposite. And as he's going across the page, there's this little space right above him, just right for. Just because everything's below him, it's round. There we go.
So, I'm wondering too, because you change covers. Do you know what I mean? Or if things go really well, the series continues, then you get different covers. I guess you're working with too. I'm not sure how that factors in, but this was a arced version. I didn't hear your opinion on this at all, but I would be honest, I kind of like the straight one better.
Yeah, I think this for the other one we had. Remember, I arced it across the top.
Oh, not
shoot it to you right now.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got too many. Stop sharing.
Pages open. I got them all open, and you can see where I live and what
Not that one. Well, here I got it. Charlie.
And then I doxed myself to you.
You're talking about this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was Eric's. We then said to Eric, "Can you just make the A not look like is little, not quite like an R?" And Eric totally changed it. I don't know.
Hey.
He changed
The problem was that A just was looking like I'm not a logo guy, honestly. I can kind of put one together, but I did Downcast.
Yeah. That to me, I'm just like I just don't know. So here
what I mean is
everybody's got opinions on logos.
I like
the arc for that layout is. I mean, just because down below them at the bottom of the screen, they're over that launch pad, and the launch pad is round, and then there's the red front of the vehicle, and then there's the gun, and he's jumping across everything, and you see behind him he's between the two buildings, and the two buildings make a little space right above him, and that's just right for the arc of the logo. right? I mean, and if you're going to talk about adventures, for some reason, whether it's Amazing Spider-Man or Indiana Jones, an adventure has an arc. Makes
sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fair.
Arcs.
So,
But the one that James Dean Anderson did, I think that one would look best if it was flat across the top. You know what I mean? He's got a little bit of an arc. He's got a little bit of a skew to it. But what if we straightened all of it so it's the top is parallel with the bottom, and it goes right across the top of the book, and there's no arc. Right?
So you're saying the bottom here kind of moves up? Is that
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what he's got.
Yeah, no, but Charlie, you're saying make it just straight.
Yeah.
So
It looks a little. There's the top, and then it's doing that. What if they're parallel lines?
Yeah.
And,
So you're just talking about keeping it just straight, just flat, just as it is, just stark. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, sure.
Whatever works, man.
Do you guys want to see the variant cover too?
Yeah.
I threw on. I gotta stop sharing again. I'm gonna do this. No, wait. Here.
Oh man, we're gonna see all the secret information.
I did a mock-up too, just because I wanted to see how the logo went. So just ignore the logo at the moment. But there we go. Can you guys see that?
That's nice.
I like that color.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's Chaz Walgamont. My good friend did this.
Beautiful.
I think it's pretty cool. The more I look at it, I'm like, I don't know. It's different. Like it's not. I don't know. Not what I'm used to seeing. I guess on comics. So it's kind of fun. So
Very, very painterly. I like it.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Especially that green, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's almost exactly what we were doing, and in no ways how we did it.
Yeah.
Which is what you want in an alternate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like another. It's kind of fun to see another artist's interpretation. I guess I like variant covers. I know a lot of people don't, but I kind of do. It's fun to see another artist's interpretation on the characters, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. So you guys are the first ones to see this.
That's the big reveal.
That's it, yeah. At the end of a stream, and with 65 people watching, which I think is
65 lucky people.
Yeah.
65 hardcore 65. Yeah.
Well, I
The
guess.
lucky, the proud, the few. The ones that saw the alternate cover and heard logo discussion.
Hey, did you guys see my new Scarecrow drawing? I still need to scan it, but
I don't know. Probably not. I'm gonna say. I'm
this
sure
is the one I'll be honest. I literally drew this so I could sell it on auction, and I did.
You did sell it.
There he is.
Hey, your camera's working. Beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
Is he standing over a defeated monkey?
He sure is a gorilla, to be exact.
Whoa.
Nice.
Beautiful.
This was just
Very
for
nice.
the auction, or is this gonna be in the book somewhere?
I'll make it and put it in the book somewhere. It's not a story page or anything, but it might be a card or a print or just a pin up in the back.
Yeah, that's cool.
You look
But-
beautiful, Eric.
Thank you.
You can always use more. Art.
Oh, are you wearing Gunner glasses?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Good work, sir.
Thank you.
Nice.
should-
Were
You said-
were you a service guy too, Luke?
No.
No, Gunner.
Yeah,
not
it's
Gunner.
a brand. You should
a brand.
get them, Charlie. They're really good for eye strain.
Yeah,
Because you stare at screens all the time.
he does.
They're smoking on our book, Charlie. That's not
Yeah,
approved, which makes
I have
people
everybody smoking.
Yeah. Let's see. The logo is pie shaped. EVS loves pie. CG conspiracy. He's got a
Chuck
point.
Reardon. You are a pitcher, right, Chuck? Well, at
Thanks.
least you've been
I
a
don't
major
think
league
so. I think
professional.
you're thinking of somebody else.
He said he's a random guy, and isn't the same one we had talked about last week?
Yeah,
It's some rando from the internet.
it's just
No,
a good
you're-
name.
You're our
People have
random.
called me Chuck in my past. but I've never had Reardon to follow it up. That's strong. That's a strong
He
name.
does say that's my favorite. I have no context.
He was talking about mine.
Something. Your logo?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And your glasses.
Both of them were talking about mine.
And your drawing.
Just saying.
For
No,
all-
I don't care.
Wasn't it the weekend of auctions? Did you have stuff up for auction, Eric?
Just the one piece, because I don't have a lot of pages. I don't have 25 years of Green Lantern pages and 2 campaigns of Cyberfrog pages either.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sell any of these pages yet. These are actual Battlebrick Road pages back here. I don't want to sell those yet till people have seen the book, till they get the book in their hands and they want pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well
was
thought out.
I was so tempted to go onto Ethan's stream and try to sell that little underwater man drawing I did.
You could sell anything on that stream. I was busy yesterday. I was hanging out with family, so I didn't hop on the stream. But I have comps here that I could just sell with my signature on them. I mean, I've sold a couple of Graveyard Shift books like that way with over $100 a piece each. So, yeah, people would want your artwork.
Oh my God! Did we hit 100?
Oh, 100. Oh, was it 100 backers? Let me check. Oh, I gotta get to the right page.
Did I hit 100 backers on your stream, Clint?
Don't say anything yet. Hold on. Share screen.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Okay, we gotta
Refresh.
Refresh us.
Looks like you lost one.
There you go.
We hit 100. Yeah.
They're backers.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You're the best. Bye.
Nice. So great. I'm
Congrats.
glad to be part of this.
Yes.
I
Thank
take
you.
full credit.
Eric takes full credit.
Couldn't have done without you, Eric. You're the
That's why I'm
key
here.
player.
That's why I'm here.
That's awesome.
You're the MVP.
This is 41 days left. You're gonna do it. You're gonna get that Frank Cho $35,000.
Dude, if I could get a 35, I would be over the moon because that would just be amazing to me.
It means that you get to keep making comics.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Like
Yeah,
I see guys who raise like 5 or 10K. I'm like, oh, I'm like, if I had that much, I'd just be making comics nonstop. Just be like a conveyor belt of different comics every day.
Yeah, some guy on Twitter yesterday, or I don't remember what date it was, recently was saying, "Were you successful? Does your campaign count as successful? At what point is it successful?" And the answer is different for everybody. But for me, it was like, well, this stage, or like for the first book, it's like the goal is to make your comic and be able to keep making comics.
Yeah.
So that means that whatever that number is, I had to hire people to help. If you're doing the whole thing yourself, whatever that number is, But having some profit where you get it's awful lot of work, but having some profit, pay yourself, that's even better,
Well, I mean, it means you can take that profit and you can invest it back into the next book. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
Clint, the goal for this one is so you could quit your multiple jobs.
I've already toned down the window cleaning, which feels so nice. Like, it's so good.
There's a lot of dirty windows out there now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm creating job for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Clint, was it last week we were talking and you talked about the window cleaning thing?
Yeah.
Has anyone talked about that's where Downcast came from?
No, I put that in there because there's nothing like cleaning windows. Everyone ignores you, but you get to see everything.
Ooh.
You see what's going on inside. And for Downcast, it was like they were bystanders that happened. It was totally by chance that they sort of ran into this whole thing. But to me, I'm like, who would do that? It's a window washer, because everyone ignores you, but you get to see. It's almost voyeuristic,
Have you actually been on the seated on the thing, go up the building?
Scott, no, I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. I do.
He's not a peasant.
I don't even want to risk my life that way. I'll risk my life on a ladder, which technically you're more likely to get injured on a ladder doing.
I got a question, Charlie. Let me ask him a question. Be honest, Clint. How many people did you catch banging?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, damn it!
Not yet. No, it's usually like, you know, people playing or talking on the phone, or, you know, like
or
just
banging. Am I right? Yeah.
not yet.
All right.
Businesses,
So
it's a lot of business stuff.
So you just send lackeys up and down the buildings to do your dirty work for you?
I do most of it myself.
You are the man, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not like a huge thing. It's just a side business, but it, you know, it paid off my student loans, which my
Nice.
full-time job is not capable, you know, wasn't capable of doing. So it's been really good. I haven't really mentioned stuff about it because, like I said, I had somebody posting reviews, and on Google, you could post reviews and pictures, and people were posting porn and bad reviews. And it took me months to get Google to take those down.
Huh.
Now I'm not doing residential anymore. So basically I have my clients I do, and I'm not really taking on new people. So
So it's fair game again to start posting that again?
No, please don't.
Oh, all right, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
That was so, that was really stressful. I hated that. But I don't know. But yeah, it's been a good job, but it's a side job, you know, it's not like my passion or anything.
I'm
So.
gonna
well,
guess.
Clint,
I'm gonna guess real quick that the people that were posting those probably say that you're part of a hate campaign that tries to cancel people.
Yeah, that was my suspicion. So once I
makes you wonder.
Once I put my real
doing
name
your
out,
hate campaigns, Clint.
yeah, I had a few other people call my work and email at work, stuff like that. That my day job, that was super inappropriate. But anyway, I don't know, this is a tangent.
Well, success, Clint. That's what I'm saying. Success for this is for you to be able to quit all that and just make these books.
Oh, that's
success for this, I think.
That would be.
I want that to happen.
That would be
great.
Man.
Let's lay out that for the goal.
That's the dream.
And the goals, Clint. I would never forsake you, and I won't forsake your gods, no matter what color pattern they came in or what the drawings looked like.
Well,
but I would forsake these gods.
Well,
these
gods. On that note, Charlie, there is a quote at the beginning of the book, and it says, "In the end, your gods will forsake you, but I will always be here."
Oh,
dun dun dun!
That sounds like something. That sounds something like that a totem pole would say to me right before I was drinking whiskey next to it, or that I would imagine it might say to me.
In a way, it's kind of a I guess what would you say, like a saying for Comicsgate, like we have been forsaken by the big names, by the big corporations, but in the end we have ourselves and we have each other, and that's what really matters.
It's deep. I like that.
All right.
Deep and wide.
The art let me counter that with the artwork looks rad. Really rad artwork.
I can show you a page real quick of interior art.
Shit looks rad.
If we have time,
yeah,
Clint,
please.
do you have to?
Post a page. We'll wrap up. This will be our last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Few minutes here. Yeah, show us a page.
All right. Let me click share screen. Here we go.
One more amble through the brambles.
Sorry, I have to add 2 cents here too.
What's that?
If you are one of those people watching and you are thinking about launching a crowdfunding campaign, this is a great example. Fresher Luke showed us genuine excitement for his comic book and appreciation for people backing it. That goes a long way. And I've seen it where people are trying to play it cool, maybe. Everyone wants to watch you be excited. So kudos. Again, it's just such a great example of just being, I don't know, just happy and excited about it. And I think that's what got you more backers, honestly.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would often get criticized for that because, like, I'm a passionate guy and I really get excited when I see good stuff. And I guess I transfer that to my own work because I'm like, I want to make something really awesome, right? Like, I want to really make people feel something. But I guess my generation, or at least in animation, everyone's really apathetic and they think it's really uncool to care about things. And I don't subscribe to that at all.
Yeah.
So
that's because you're a genuine human being.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's the kindest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Well, I take it back.
That page was awesome. That's a really cool page. Where are they going?
I love that.
Yeah.
So this is towards the beginning. This is the beginning of the book, and this is as they are entering the dungeon, so to say. Yeah.
Cool, man.
And this is going to be all colored up. It's going to look pretty sweet. And it's a double page spread, so it's going to be
Yeah. That's cool.
Really cool. And you reached 100 backers.
I did.
That's massive.
You're welcome.
Thanks to you, Clint, and everybody else here, Charlie and Eric, and everyone in the chat. So
Oh,
thanks
mostly
so
me,
much, guys.
Those backers. Yeah, of course, mostly Eric. And those backers. That's so cool, man.
You should do that one at the bottom. The green laser just put in for that thing
Let's
in
see.
the chat.
This one?
Yeah,
I've seen 5K.
dude. If I hit 5K, I would be over the moon. That would be awesome.
He's saying if you get on Nerdrotic.
Oh, Nerdrotic. People watching? Yeah, I don't know. Is it Gary? I don't know Nerdrotic.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's right.
Either. I should look him up.
I don't even
I
know.
just started watching because I watched these dudes named Hoteps. There's these dudes in New Jersey, and a guy named Eric July came on. He's Young Ripper, and it was a schooling in libertarian stuff.
Yeah.
And then I kept watching Young Ripper videos, and then he was talking to Nerdrotic, and then I thought, what's Nerdrotic? And then I was watching Nerdrotic, and then before you know it, there they both are talking to Ethan. So it's all piling up. And Nerdrotic had a comic shop in San Francisco, or still kind of has.
No,
And
he
just
sold
this
it, but he's making a new one.
He is. Just this weekend, they were talking about. He was saying, "I'll put Comicsgate books on the shelf, man." And boy, as soon as I heard that, I thought, "Oh, that sounds beautiful."
Yeah.
For us to
I
have
was
all
thinking-
our books up on the shelf there.
I've been thinking if I should add a retailer tier to Battle Brick Road.
I've never
Why
had
wouldn't you?
anyone. Everyone, they don't buy them.
I don't know.
mean-
Vaughn sold it like 10 of his
See?
retailer tier.
Maybe you got to be Vaughn.
Maybe you gotta be Vaughn. You gotta have that voice.
discount. I'd have to. I could
That
ask
10
him.
buckets of blood that I drank voice.
Well, that man, and start reaching out to Nerdrotic. He actually has a comic shop,
Yeah,
and he's got a fun show too. I mean,
yeah.
those two things go together.
I can't remember if I told you this or not, Charlie, but I don't really know that Star Wars girl Anna, but I sent her a message and I was like, "You have a big stream. Do you mind promoting this book?" And I posted some artwork that you did, and she was like, "I absolutely love that artwork." Yes, so
Rad.
that'll
Here we
be
go.
another great outlet. But
We'll go talk to her. We'll go talk to RJ. I'm dying to talk to RJ. Do you guys know RJ? Do you guys know him?
what's his-
The
yes,
Fourth Age
Wait.
is his name of
Yeah.
his channel. Dude he's a genius. He's brilliant. He's
Smart
absolutely
dude.
brilliant.
I'm afraid
Yeah,
of going on
Todd-
stream with smart people.
Well, you're on
He's
the stream
super
with me,
smart.
Eric.
I know.
There you go.
Well, how did you manage that?
I stand by my statement.
Excellent. Yeah, man.
Really
I'm
not.
excited. RJ's wonderful. He said nice things about us, Clint, and I've been listening to his channel for a while, and he's got a book coming. If we could get him, I mean, I was very excited to talk to Matt Weldon, even though when he was it Matt Weldon?
Matt Weldon.
Wait, no, Fowler.
Oh,
We were talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
Fowler.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the stream
Yeah, I
for a
was
bit.
very excited about that. But by the time he got there, my earphones were popping in and out. I couldn't quite hear everything he was saying. It was like talking to Beatnik of comedy. It was so cool. And we got to talk to was it a week before that? We were talking to RT Bear,
Yeah,
RT Bear.
Artie Bear.
We had Art T. Bear. We had other people. I guess I'm getting tired.
I think this is the end of the stream then.
We had other people on. It was cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just great. The whole network of everyone has a YouTube channel and an outlet where they're promoting. It's just great. So we got to talk to John Malin, obviously, and Ethan and just everyone.
So Malin's launching this week?
Yeah.
This week.
Very cool. So will he be on here Monday, I'm guessing? Next week?
I don't know. I'm small potatoes for him, so I haven't. I've had him on a few times, but never to like directly promote anything. So, but I'd be.
He was on the first time I came on. He was on here.
Yeah, he'll kind of just randomly if he's in the chat, and I'll send him a link. But I don't think
Graham.
I don't think I'm on his press list. You know what I mean?
We got to talk to Graham. Of course. Well, I mean,
Graham Nolan.
you
Yeah.
should. He was coaching you for how to argue with people at one time. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah. When you had that
That
debate
was-
with whoever that was.
On
That
Ethan
was one of
Street?
my.
You had a debate
Him
with
and-
somebody, and then you got on Ethan Street and was like, "Man, I totally screwed that debate up. I wasn't prepared."
Well, it wasn't. I didn't go into this thinking I was.
Yeah, you were ambushed.
I didn't think like I'm gonna have a debate. It was just like, hey, here's a guy that has a different perspective. Okay, sure, yeah, talk to him. But yeah, then it was like, oh no, like yeah, you're an evil person, and I kept thinking like, okay, well, I want to be nice. I'm a guest on this show, but it was like in reality, I should have just, whatever. Can't redo it, but yeah, I made a fool of myself for
No,
hours.
you did.
Right. I wouldn't be able to
actually
debate
came off-
anybody ever.
You actually came off
So-
really well, Clint. And then, but the best part was when Malin and Cecil were coaching you how to be meaner to people. It was so fun. It was hilarious. It felt like older brothers saying,
Yeah.
when he punches you in the stomach, you gotta come up higher.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was the longest stream too. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. and by the end I was just like, I don't even know. I'm just a terrible person. And
Well, that's true, but
No.
yeah,
You're clearly the worst out of all of us, Clint.
mhm,
I'm sure.
mhm.
Yeah.
You'll burn in hell. But it's, whatever.
Oh my god.
Hell's no
Comes from
big
the
deal.
guy that doesn't believe in hell.
I don't know. I just don't believe in God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell, yeah,
Hell-
forsaken. He has forsaken
Hell's
all
a
gods.
place.
Hell is certain.
Hell's a certainty.
Yeah,
Man.
well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate you guys coming on. Fresher Luke, you've been a delight to talk to.
Oh,
Appreciate your
this has been one of the greatest streams I've been on. Thank you so much for having me on. I got to meet awesome people and I got to boost my campaign. So this has been a win-win for me. So yeah, thank you.
Excellent. I'm glad. I love seeing those numbers go up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for watching. I think we had up to like 80 something people, which is pretty good for a Monday night. So appreciate everyone. And we'll see you all in the next video. Bye.
Flat Earth is real.